21-22, and it came down to the end of the game. And we are underway in Knoxville, Tennessee, with the opening tip. Tennessee starting their fourth different lineup tonight. Kim Caldwell going with a different starting lineup in every game so far this year. That's Barker, knocked away. Good D by Fuller. Belmont with their opening possession. Here's the Belmont starting five. Fuller has it knocked away by Spearman. Paldo, the freshman, running the point to start the game. New starting lineup. You notice there's no Talasia Cooper in the starting lineup tonight, though she is healthy, and we'll see her come off the bench.
It's going to be important for Z Spearman to really get going. She is the senior that's got to step up this season. Last year, she averaged a little over 11 points a game. She's got great height. She's got a three-point shot, and her rotation defensively, she's got a lot of length for this press.
She had been fouled by Fuller. Here's the Lady Vols press. They will try to smother Belmont tonight. Worked on this press for the last 2 days in practice, and that's one way to break it. Fuller down low, misses the shot, and then Barker had her hand on it, lost it out of bounds, and it'll stay on this end. Tennessee, Carolyn, they were not happy with the way they played against UT Martin, which obviously was Pat Summitt's alma mater over the weekend.
Well, Kim Caldwell told us she has not been really pleased with how this team has gotten off to start.
Judy Jones, her first shot off the mark. And a battle for the rebound will be a jump ball that'll stay on this end. And Kim Caldwell back for her second season as the head coach of the Lady Vols, only the fourth head coach in this program's distinguished history, and has brought a new system not only to the Lady Vols, but really to the entire SEC. And this year, in year number 2, has more of the players that she has brought in that should be able to run that system even better. Jones makes the bucket.
We were talking earlier, and I played at Vanderbilt and played against Tennessee when Pat Summitt was coaching, and the one thing that you dreaded when you played Tennessee was that pressure defense. And I think Kim Caldwell's style has brought that defensive intensity back.
Tennessee this year brought in the top-ranked transfer portal class, the second-ranked freshman class. So they have definitely reloaded for this season. Belmont likes to set it up in the half court. They look for the three. Go inside to Fuller, and Fuller just cannot buy a basket. She's missed her first 2 shots, but they've been close.
But Fuller is one of the sophomores that Bart Brooks talks about that he feels like will make a difference with the success of their team this season. She's got to be that power inside.
One of the things Tennessee does is sub often. 3 on the way, off the mark. Next dead ball, Tennessee will send in 3 players. Paldo up to Robertson. Robertson taking Jones. Well, we knew it was going to be quick, Carolyn, but so far we're not getting a lot of points on the board.
Well, it's going to be important for Belmont to control the tempo, because if Tennessee can start forcing turnovers and getting out and running, it could be a long night.
Inside, Jones gets loose for the 2. So Belmont with the first lead of the game. Civil. And Civil off the mark. Lady Vols struggling to make shots here early. 1 of 5 to start the game.
And Tennessee last year had 3 three-point shooters that made over 50 threes. They're not there this year, so really finding who those sharp shooters are going to be is something Kim Caldwell's hunting for.
They set a program record for threes last year. Fuller again inside. She's getting her shots. They're just not falling.
But Z Spearman has a lot to do with that. She's got long reach.
Speaking of Z Spearman, Spearman stepping through and gets the layup. Nice move.
And a good decision, too. Yeah, the 3 was there, but a higher percentage shot was to attack the rim.
And Tennessee will send 3 new players in. They've missed their last 4 shots. And a turnover on Jones will bring new players in for the Lady Vols. So Cooper will come in for the first time. So will Prawl. Talasia Cooper, one of the most talented players in the country, preseason first team All-SEC. And Kim Caldwell will use a different starting lineup. Last year, 17 different starting lineups, I think. Wolfenbarger also in the game for the Lady Vols, number 8 in white.
Now what Kim does is she evaluates how you played in the previous game and how you practice, and that determines who's going to be in the starting lineup.
Nice take by Prawl, and that's a big bucket for the freshman from Canada.
The composure that Belmont's playing with right now, that press has not rattled them yet.
Their head coach, Bart Brooks, wants to put them in position to get an at-large bid. They've gone to the WBIT the last 2 years, and because they've just not been able to win that tournament championship, they got all the way to the finals of the WBIT last year, lost to Minnesota in the championship. Brody denied by Wolfenbarger. Here's Robertson. Cooper's first shot. In and out.
Wow, that's a big box out by Brody.
Yeah. She had Wolfenbarger on her back.
And Tennessee 0 for 4 from the three-point line.
5 players at the scorer's table for the Lady Vols. And a foul on.
Consistency of his staff, because Jamie Givens and Amy Mello have been with him for 9, going on 10 seasons together. And then he said, also, you got to credit, he said, we've gotten great players, too, that have bought into the system. I went over and watched them practice, and they've got a great facility over there at Belmont to recruit to.
And there's that staff and a lot of Vanderbilt connections with the staff at Belmont as well. Remember Jordan Cambridge, the star for Vanderbilt. She goes by Joe now, by the way, but
yeah,
she's on
an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament.
Spearman. Civil back to Paulo, the 2 freshmen. And Carolyn, still no offensive rebounds for Tennessee.
Yeah, 0 on the offensive second chance opportunities.
Both teams reloading on the timeout, bringing in new players. That's Sanaa Tripp handling the ball out front.
With the length at Tennessee, we got Janiah Barker at 6'4" on the perimeter. Z Spearman 6'4" inside.
4 new Lady Vols check into the game. You know, it's interesting, Carolyn, we were talking earlier about polling former Lady Vols. Would you have liked to have played in this system? And almost everyone that I've talked to now says, oh, I would have loved it.
Yeah, you can go out and play hard, because you know when you come out of the game, you're going to go back in if you demonstrated you're ready to compete on the floor.
I think that's why they've been so successful in the recruiting trail, too. This is fun. Feltner taking it in, knocked out of bounds. Good D.
But you're talking about the recruiting. Kim Caldwell is looking for players that are, you see Belmont getting on the offensive glass, but they want freshmen that are coming in that don't want to play behind somebody, but who want to play and aren't afraid of anything.
Good denial defense by Prawl. Missed shot. And she says this freshman class is fearless. They have just stepped right in. No intimidation, no backing off. There's Cooper getting the roll. Belmont doing a good job with the press break. They just haven't made shots. Almost 3 minutes. They've gone without a field goal. Here's Tripp, and gets fouled on the arm.
Talking to Bart Brooks, he said it was going to be important that you protect the paint because of players. Tennessee has 5 players on the floor that can create their own shot. They can take it on the drive. They can maneuver to get to the paint, and that's where they can be successful.
Sanaa Tripp, fouled by Robertson, on the line now for 2. She hasn't missed a free throw so far this season. She gives Jalen Banks a little relief at the point guard position. She's more of a physical point guard, Coach Brooks was telling us.
You know, when you have Tripp on the floor for Belmont, at times you're watching them on film, I can't tell the difference between if it's her or if it's Jones. Tootie Jones said the future is bright for the Bruins.
Tootie Jones, 0 in blue. Tripp's 5 in blue. Lady Vols setting up the half-court offense. Shot clock's under 10. Very rarely say that in a Tennessee game. Paldo for three. It's the baseball pass down to Eubank. Nice play, Coach Brooks.
That's what you want to see in an ATO after the timeout, the execution, and then produce with the two.
Barker, her teammate from last year, guarding her. Actually, they weren't teammates. Barker was at UCLA. Sorry, Strickland, though, guarding her. And Barker has made her last two shots.
Yeah, Barker, though, brings in a lot of experience, transferred in from UCLA, a team that went to the Final Four last year.
She was Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year. Barker 0 in white for Lady Vols. Tootie Jones gets stuck by Barker. Here's Bank. Shot clock down to 3. Strickland, familiar with the rims here, doesn't get that shot to go down. Barker, and gets the roll. What do you think the impact Barker's going to have on this Tennessee team this year?
Oh, huge. Because of her length and size and the versatility of her game, she's a 3-level scorer.
Largest lead of the game, and Barker's made her last 3 shots. Let's reflect back on the last 2.
Well, Barker can impose her will, and because of her length, she can get up over the defense, and then her handles allow her to take the ball to the rim.
And the type of player that loves to be coached and loves to please the coach, right?
Yeah, this is a player historically, she originally was going to go to Georgia, and then Joni Taylor went to Texas A&M. She went with Joni, played 2 years at Texas A&M, and then last season she played for Corey Close. And in watching Barker play, she is a player that wants to please the coach. Whatever the coach asks her to do, she's going to go out and try to make that happen on the court. This is the lineup that I wanted to see. Cooper, Spearman, and Barker all on the floor at the same time.
It really has not happened very much so far in the first 4 games, especially when it comes to Cooper and Barker.
You have Spearman that set the screen and popped up. The defense has got to make a decision. Do you take Spearman outside or guard Cooper as she goes in the paint?
Coach Caldwell saying she's actually really enjoyed watching Barker and Wolfenbarger play together this year. Foul out on the perimeter on number 22, Quinn Eubank.
Well, these Lady Vols have 8 newcomers, and so Kim Caldwell's still working with combinations to see what's the best fit.
Tennessee's made their last 5 shots. Final 30 seconds of this opening quarter. Cooper and is tied up, or was a timeout called? No, tied up. So the jump ball will give it to Tennessee. Kim Caldwell was up off the bench trying to get a timeout called. Couldn't get it done, but they get to keep the ball. Hillary Fuller will check back in for Tootie Jones. Fuller, a sophomore from Australia. About a 10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. We're at 4 on the shot clock, 3 on the way. Good by Paldo. Mimi Paldo. And her twin Mai on the team there, the twin backcourt. And yes, that is trademarked. Quarter's over. And